By the time this video goes out, it will mark the 20th anniversary of the Batman 2004 show, a day ahead of schedule. I've chosen to release it early out of respect of the tragic events that took place in the United States, particularly the attack of the Twin Towers in New York, which is why I'm releasing this video a day earlier than originally planned. But getting into today's discussion, I want to go over the storyboards for the show and some deleted scenes. If you have been following me on the small channel, you may have already known that I've covered the Batman 2004 cartoon in the past, exploring its history and scrap content. Since that video, I've acquired some behind-the-scenes material which includes storyboards that, to my knowledge, has never been seen by the public before. These storyboards were provided by Stephen Lake, who is known for his coverage for Batman the Animated Series and other DCAU projects. I owe him a huge thanks for giving me access to these storyboards and being on this show in the past. If you're interested in his channel, you can click the link to his channel in the description below. Unfortunately, I don't have the complete storyboards for all episodes in the series, only selective scenes and episodes created by Brad, the talented artist behind all the storyboards that I'm showing today. Before I start, I wanted to correct some stuff from the last video before jumping into the storyboards. In the original video, I didn't go over the cancellations for a second animated DVD for the Batman, which would have featured Hush. The reason I didn't go over the cancellation of the movie was because at the time, I didn't know why the pitch got cancelled. Since that video, I now know the reason. Apparently, W.B. wanted to make another Batman monster movie after the success of the Batman vs. Dracula movie. With these conflicting differences, a planned second movie was cancelled. A quick fact about this poster is that it's a recreation of the Batman Strikes comics in issue 15. Another thing I forgot to include was the ventriloquist design. Instead of the human controlling a puppet, the puppet controls the person. Now, they did reuse the design in the first episode that Scarface appears in. Jumping into the storyboards on the episode titled The Fistful Of Felt, after stealing a money printer, Batman captures Scarface and Arnold Weskers, and both are sent to Arkham. In the original storyboards, there was a scene where we would have seen several inmates walking out, including the Joker, but this section was cut and we only see Arnold walking out. Additionally, there's a sequence planned where Bruce Wayne parachutes into a press conference to unveil a new learning museum for children. Originally, the plan was to show Bruce jumping out of the plane and doing tricks in the air before deploying his parachute, but this sequence was cut and we only see Bruce deploying his chute in the final product. Furthermore, in the original plan, the poster showing the new building's completion would have gone through several transitions of the season, but in the final product, we only see the poster going from new to old in a couple seconds, implying that a significant amount of time has passed. Later in the episode, we find out that Arnold has been cured and is now a free man. Originally, there was a scene planned where we would have seen Arnold picking up his suitcase and walking out of Arkham, which would have transitioned to Batman stalking him on top of a gargoyle, but this scene was altered in the final product. Finally, in the storyboards, a comical scene was planned where everyone would have stared at Batman holding out his batarang, but this was not included in the final episode. I also like how Batman just walks in instead of kicking through the door.
Elixir for his general special ops moth approach.
In the episode Team Penguin, most of the scenes featuring the Penguin discussing who to recruit as their fifth member remains intact, with only a few shots being omitted. One removed shot shows the Penguin putting his hat back on after Ragdoll stole it. Additionally, there's a cut of the villains laughing at Killer Moth when the Penguin questions him about his coffee-making skills. Later in the episode, there was supposed to be a capitated sequence depicting the chemicals altering Killer Moth's genetic material. This sequence reminded me of a similar transformation in the Spectacular Spider-Man show. Peter Parker's DNA transforms after bitten by a radioactive spider, turning him into Spider-Man.
Come on now, you can't turn cash into a candle. I got my whole life ahead of me. Who's gonna care for my grandma?
After Crank tries to assassinate Bruce Wayne, Bruce gets put into police protection with no other than Cash Tinkerson.
Detective Shades.
After Bruce sees the bat signal, Bruce quickly goes to the Batcave to go change. In the storyboards, there's a scene showing Bruce heading to a chamber where the Batsuit is kept, and then he puts it on. However, this part is cut and we only see Bruce putting on the suit. Later in the episode, after receiving a Trillier loop, Bruce pulls off his mask, which also does not make it in. Additionally, there's a sequence in the episode where Cash stumbles upon Alfred leaving the Batcave. In the original art, we would have seen Cash walking downstairs, with Alfred walking to the elevator. And finally, we would have seen the elevator close after after a funny bit with Cash and Alfred.
Here we go. Let's see.
Occupied?
Oh, sorry, Freddy.
The Batman and Superman fight in the series was originally going to be a much longer fight. After Batman flees from the Man of Steel, Superman would have shot his laser eyes towards Batman. So if anyone was wondering why Superman just doesn't use his laser eyes on Batman, he was. The next panel shows Batman dodging at the last second. Batman would have then landed on a building, shooting right back at Superman. While Superman is being shot by Batman, Robin fires grappling hooks towards Superman, just like in the final version of the episode. However, there are some differences from the original to the final. In the original, the rope would have been tied around Superman's eyes, with Superman burning through the rope. Near the end of the fight, Batman would have kept shooting at Superman, with the Man of Steel dodging, which leads to the final cut of the episode. I think the reason why this fight is cut is due to time. One of the many ways to save time and money is by cutting action sequences to save time. While looking through the storyboards in this particular episode, one thing I found interesting was Mercy's design. Her design in the show has her wear a black suit with red stripes. She's also one of the few characters to use guns in the show. Most of the time, characters just hold guns instead of firing. Not unless you watch the movie or read the tie-in comics for the show. But getting back to Mercy, in the storyboard she sports a different outfit and hairstyle, which reminds me of her DCAU counterpart. I wonder if it's just Brad accidentally using the DCAU design on Mercy, or if they had a different character design for her before changing it.
She's way more than okay.
What?
Combat log. Final entry. Should I fail, let this be a record for those who come after me.
Strange New World stands out as one of the most beloved episodes among fans, and I couldn't agree more. Batman fighting against the zombie apocalypse is a thrilling concept, and the big twist at the end makes viewers rewatch the episode to pick up the details they may have overlooked the first time. Batman's worn-out attire and visible signs of fatigue, coupled with his unshaved appearance, symbolizes his dedication to fighting crime and saving Gotham. It's a all-around fantastic episode. However, fans who have seen my last video might have known this episode was initially meant to be a Scarecrow episode. Character designs were even created for him, but due to the bat embargo, the character couldn't be used in this episode. At the start of the episode, Alfred points out the bat signal to Bruce. Originally, it was going to play out with Batman and Robin visiting Jim on top of the police station instead of Jim calling Batman. A police officer would have interrupted the meeting, leading Batman to pull off his classic disappearing act on Jim. The episode mostly plays out the same, with one big change at the end. Instead of Bruce Wayne giving a speech, it would have followed Hugo Strange in Arkham, with newspaper clippings scattered around the cell. Hero or villain, Batman is seen on top of the Gotham rooftop. Police say he foiled a recent cuts out. Lone boy escapes. Orphan teen builds homes for the homeless. And finally, Wayne family murdered. The ending ends with Hugo Strange smiling. This is massive. Although Hugo Strange has figured out Batman's secret identity before across different incarnations, Hugo in the Batman series never figures out the Dark Knight's secret identity. The closest he's ever gotten to figure out his identity was his robot named D.A.V.E, which Chip Zdarsky may have taken inspiration from for his Batman run. I have no idea why this was cut. I asked Serum Lake if he knew anything about the scene, and all I got was,
I don't, sorry. It looks like it's from the end of an episode, but not every episode of The Batman is as burnt into my brain as BTAS is, so I'm not really sure.
Well, So Brad, if you're watching this video or anyone else who worked on this episode, please tell me more about this scene. I need to know, please. I have more storyboards that Brad drew, like Batman punching old lady. Yes, Brad is the guy for this iconic scene. Brad, if you're watching this, thank you. I'm planning on releasing the rest of the storyboards to the public. The only thing is that I don't know how to go about that. These storyboards contain around 100 images, so I'm not sure how to get it to the public. So if anyone has any idea how I should do it, leave a comment down below and I'll look into it. Once again, I want to thank Serum Lake for providing me with these storyboards for the show. The Batman 2004 show is one of my all-time favorite Batman shows, which is still ranked as my #1 Batman show of all time. Yes, I do think it's better than BTAS Batman. Fight me, I dare you. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming back to talk about this underrated cartoon. The next video I'm planning to release is Cape Crusader. I know I said I would release it after my Batman Arkham video, but I had to change my schedule around to get this video out, so I do apologize. Anyway, thank you all, and I will see you next time.